Welcome to the DIY Honda Garage channel. The Diagnostic Trouble Code, DTC U0047-00, indicates a problem with the CAN Controller Area Network gateway, specifically referring to the FCAN channel B going off. The CAN gateway is a crucial component that manages the communication between various control units in the vehicle, allowing them to transmit and receive data. This connectivity is vital for numerous vehicle functions, including engine management, braking, and navigation systems. The error signifies that a wired connection in the FCAN communication line on channel B has been interrupted or corrupted. The fault may lead to failure in communication among the vehicle's multiple electronic systems, potentially affecting vehicle performance and safety. Understanding the implications of this error is essential for efficient troubleshooting and repair. The CAN gateway plays a pivotal role in ensuring that different electronic control units, ECUs, within the Honda CRV can communicate effectively. When a fault like DTC U0047-00 appears, it suggests a disruption in this communication channel, specifically for Channel B of the FCAN bus. It affects critical components, including the Powertrain Control Module, PCM, Vehicle Stability Assist, VSA Modulator, and SRS, Supplemental Restraint System Unit, among others. These systems are essential not only for operational functionality, but also for safety features in the vehicle, thus making the issue quite serious. The physical location of the CAN gateway typically is around the vehicle's interior, often near the dashboard or tucked under the driver's side console, indicating a need for easy access for repairs. Working on these components requires careful attention to both the electrical system and the mechanical interfaces within the vehicle. Several potential causes may lead to the indication of DTC U0047-00. Firstly, there can be shorted units within the vehicle's electronic network that disrupt normal communication across the CAN gateway. Specific components responsible for vital operations, such as the PCM or VSA modulator, may directly contribute to this fault if they malfunction. In addition, there may be wiring issues within the FCAN bus itself, including poor connections, corrosion, or damage to cables that could interrupt the CAN signal. Lastly, if any of the electronic components linked through the CAN gateway are not functioning properly or are damaged, they may inhibit data transfer, leading to communication errors reflected by this DTC. When dealing with DTC U0047-00, several symptoms might manifest that can guide a technician toward the root cause. Drivers might notice various warning lights illuminating on the dashboard, which indicates that there is an error in one or more systems. Additionally, the malfunctioning of critical vehicle systems, such as the stability control or braking functions, may occur, leading to serious operational safety concerns. Degraded performance is also a common symptom, where the vehicle may respond inadequately during operation, particularly in critical driving conditions. Detecting these symptoms early allows for better diagnostics and may prevent further damage to the vehicle's electronics or increase safety risks. The first troubleshooting step for DTC U0047 involves verifying the presence of the error through a series of checks. Begin by turning the vehicle's ignition to the on position, ensuring that the vehicle's electronic systems are active without starting the engine. Next, use the Honda Diagnostic System HDS tool to clear any existing DTCs. This process helps in resetting the system and allows you to monitor if the DTC returns. After clearing the DTC, turn the vehicle's ignition off and then back on again after a brief wait of 6 seconds. Finally, Check for DTCs once more using the HDS to see if U0047-00 has reappeared. If it is confirmed, proceed to the next steps in the troubleshooting process, indicating an ongoing issue that needs to be resolved. In this step, the focus shifts to checking if the powertrain control module (PCM) is shorted, which could be impacting CAN communication, leading to DTC U0047-00. Start by ensuring the vehicle ignition is in the off position before proceeding. Utilize the HDS diagnostic tool to jump the SCS service check switch line, maintaining this mode for over 1 minute to allow for adequate monitoring of the system's response. Following this, you'll need to disconnect PCM connector A, which typically houses numerous vital wires responsible for engine management and control functions. After disconnecting, exit the SCS mode and power up the vehicle again to clear the DTC using the HDS. Wait 6 seconds before checking for any persistent DTC. Next in the sequence is inspecting the Vehicle Stability Assist VSA modulator control unit for shorted conditions. Ensure that the vehicle is turned to the off position to proceed safely. Disconnect the VSA modulator control unit 46P connector, which is integral to managing the vehicle's stability during driving. After disconnection, turn the vehicle ignition back to the on mode and again utilize the HDS to clear any DTCs present. Following the clearing process, turn the vehicle off and then on once more after 6 seconds of waiting. The final check will again involve looking for any persistent error codes via the HDS. If DTC U0047-00 remains, the next step involves checking further components to isolate where the fault lies. The fourth troubleshooting step involves assessing the ANC, active noise control unit, for any signs of a short circuit. Just like previous steps, ensure the vehicle's ignition is turned to the off position prior to starting this check. Begin by disconnecting the ANC unit, which typically uses a 20P connector. This component is crucial for noise cancellation during vehicle operation. After the connector has been removed, switch the ignition back to on mode and clear any codes using the HDS system. As before, allow the vehicle to turn off and return to on after a wait period of 6 seconds. Checking for DTCs with the HDS will confirm if the U0047-00 code persists. If so, check other electronic components to ensure they are functioning correctly in the network. In this step, we will check the audio navigation units to determine if they might be causing the DTC U0047-00. Begin by ensuring the vehicle is in the off position before proceeding further. Disconnect the audio navigation unit's 16P connector, which is essential for providing entertainment and navigation systems in the vehicle. After disconnection, switch back to on mode to clear the DTC with your HDS. Ensure again to power down the vehicle. Wait 6 seconds and then turn it back on. Conduct a final diagnostic scan for DTCs using the HDS tool. If U0047-00 still shows, then it's necessary to investigate further components in the FCAN network to narrow down the issue. Now we proceed to check the Supplemental Restraint System, SRS unit, as a potential source of DTC U0047-00. Start by ensuring the vehicle's ignition remains in the off position. Disconnect the SRS unit connector A, identified by its 39P configuration. This unit is critical for airbag deployment and overall passenger safety. Once disconnected, switch the ignition to on to reset and clear the DTC via the HDS. Repeat the power down and wait for 6 seconds before restarting. Finally, determine whether DTC U0047-00 remains active. If it does, there may be other components involved that need to be verified in the interconnected system. The next step features the inspection of the electric power steering EPS control unit to check for potential shorts leading to the DTC U0047-00 flag. Begin with the vehicle in off mode, ensuring that safety protocols are followed. Disconnect the EPS connector B, a 6P type, which communicates steering input across various systems. After completing the disconnection process, turn the ignition back to the on position to clear any DTCs with the HDS. As with previous steps, power the vehicle down, pause for 6 seconds, then reactivate, proceeding to check for error codes. If the DTC persists, further investigation into remaining systems and control units is warranted to locate the root of the communication failure. Moving on, we will investigate the electric brake booster as a potential source of DTC U0047-00. Initiate this step by ensuring the vehicle is in off mode. Then leave the driver's door open for 3 minutes prior to executing any disconnections, as this ensures safety. Unplug the 26P connector from the electric brake booster, which is essential for providing additional braking power. With the connector removed, shift the ignition to the on position and utilize the HDS to clear any DTCs. Wait 6 seconds after powering down the vehicle, and then turn it back on. During the final check for DTCs, if U0047-00 remains, additional inspections of other affected modules and units may be necessary to track down the fault's origin. At this stage of the troubleshooting, we examine the real-time all-wheel drive AWD control unit to ascertain if it is causing the DTC U0047-00. Start by confirming the vehicle state is off. Disconnect the control unit using its specific 24P connector. This particular control unit is critical as it helps manage the distribution of power to the vehicle's wheels to improve traction. Subsequent to this disconnection, switch the ignition to on to allow for the HDS to clear existing DTCs. Following that, power down again, waiting for the 6 seconds, and restart the vehicle. A final search for DTCs will reveal whether the U0047-00 code persists, guiding you in determining the next step in resolving the communication error. Next, we're focusing on the multi-purpose camera unit, a potential contributor to the DTC U0047-00 when it experiences a fault. Ensure that the vehicle is turned to off before proceeding any further. Begin by disconnecting the 12P connector from the multi-purpose camera unit, which is integral in providing data for various driver assist features and visibility systems. Next, switch the ignition to the on position and utilize the HDS tool to clear any diagnostic trouble codes. As previously done, power down for a short period before turning the vehicle back on again. Conclude this step by checking again for the presence of DTC U0047-00. Persistence of the error indicates that you will need to investigate further electronic units connected within the system. The next step involves examining the millimeter wave radar unit, which may also be implicated in the DTC U0047-00 status. Prior to any work, confirm that the vehicle's ignition is in the off position for safety. Disconnect the radar using its 8P connector. This component is essential for adaptive cruise control and other advanced safety features. Following this, shift the ignition to on so that you can utilize the HDS to clear any DTCs present in the system. As consistently performed, Power down the vehicle and pause for 6 seconds before re-energizing it. Finally, check again for DTCs, indicating whether U004700 continues to be an active trouble code that needs addressing. In this troubleshooting step, we focus on potential short circuits in the FCAN-BH line, essential for communication in the CAN network. Begin by ensuring that the vehicle is turned to the off position. Disconnect the CAN gateway 12P connector as well, making sure it is safely removed to prevent any unintended shorts or current flow. At this point, measure the resistance between the identified test points. This testing requires that the vehicle remains in the off state while extensively analyzing the connections to determine resistance levels. A resistance value of 1 mega ohm or greater indicates that there's no short in the wiring. If lower resistance is found, you will need to repair the short within the FCAN-BH wire, leading to the various connected units. This next step proceeds with measuring the resistance across the FCAN-BL line to identify any shorts that could continue to be causing DTC U0047-00. Ensure, once again, that the vehicle is in the off position and the appropriate connectors are already disconnected. This stage involves measuring resistance between the designated test points as specified in your service manual, with clear attention to the required setups for testing. Achieving a resistance of 1 mega ohm or higher suggests that no short exists in the wiring of the FCAN-BL connection. If resistance is significantly less, action must be taken to implement a repair to the short circuits present in this line. Following necessary actions will allow you to ensure effective communication within the CAN network. The final troubleshooting step requires measuring the resistance between the FCAN-BH and FCAN-BL lines. Verify that the vehicle is in the off state and that all relevant connectors remain disconnected during this inspection process. This test aims to determine if there's a short between these two communication lines, which can severely disrupt the operational integrity of the CAN architecture. The expected outcome is a resistance reading of 1 mega ohm or more, signaling that there are no shorts between the lines. Should a low reading occur, the immediate next step will involve repairing any shorts identified between the FCAN-BH and FCAN-BL wires. Be sure to also refer to any authorized service information to effectively address any complexities encountered. Once the necessary repairs have been completed, it's vital to conduct a final repair verification to ensure that DTC U0047-00 has been properly addressed. This involves confirming that all disconnections and connections are secure and that any faulty components have been replaced or repaired correctly. Utilize the HDS to clear any diagnostic codes now present in the system and prepare the vehicle for testing under normal operational conditions. After clearing the DTC, monitor for a specific period to determine if the error reoccurs. Finally, if the system returns to normal operation without the error, you can conclude that the fault has been effectively resolved and the vehicle is safe for use. In conclusion, addressing DTC U0047-00 involves a comprehensive approach to diagnosing problems within the CAN gateway's communication lines. Recognizing the importance of this communication is essential, as it underpins the safety and functionality of multiple vehicle systems. Each component linked to the CAN network must be meticulously checked for shorts or malfunctions that could contribute to the error code. Throughout the troubleshooting steps, effective use of HDS tools and clear procedures allow for methodical diagnostics. Finally, ongoing monitoring for any recurrence of DTC U0047-00 is crucial to ensure long-term resolution and reliability within the vehicle's electronic systems, supporting both performance and safety. Please like and subscribe to the channel. See you next time.